After a nice holiday break, the 40/20 Nerds are back. This episode, we share what games and movies helped us pass the time during the holidays, as well as discuss The Egg, Ted Cruz, and how memes can be a wholesome balance to your internet diet. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can catch all the 40/20 episodes as soon as they drop. So sit back and enjoy episode 5, Cruzin into 2019. All right, we are back.
Oh, man.
It's your boy Breezy.
It's been a while.
It has been a while, man. We've had a little vacation.
Yeah.
A little holiday.
Yeah, it was nice.
It was the holidays.
Yeah, all of them.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah, I was about to say.
All the
Thanksgiving,
ones that
Christmas,
matter.
New Year's.
Yeah.
Several in a row, actually.
Yeah.
Did you guys have a good holiday?
I did, yeah. It was a good time. It was just a lot of relaxing. I took a week off after the week of Christmas, so it was nice and chill.
Yeah, we had about a week off, so it was nice.
Yeah, so it seems to be fun when you have time to just do nothing. But
Yeah.
then Christmas comes up and you're like, well, I got all these people I got to go see. It's not like your 2 days off turns into your actual 3 hours off because you're stuck at home, or you go to the next family get together.
Yeah.
Or at least mine's like that. I don't know about you guys.
It's that weird time in between like Christmas and New Year's where it's just like, you don't know. It's like life is just different in that period of time where it's like you're not going to work, you're doing all this stuff with your family. It's just kind of different from the rest of the year.
Mm-hmm.
So it feels like, time just doesn't exist the way it usually does, I guess.
Just kind of floating out there hoping for something.
Yeah. And then, New Year's is over and you come crashing back down into, okay, I got to go back to work and I got to get back to everything again.
So I went to Alabama for Thanksgiving and visited some family, and we went to a pretty cool place. It's called Pints and Pixels.
Mm-hmm.
And literally, it's a pretty big restaurant bar, but it's just filled with old school pinball machines and arcade games and stuff, and it was pretty cool.
Nice.
So that was the highlight of the trip. For me. Pretty awesome.
I feel like we need one of those around here. We had one downtown for a short period of time, but it wasn't really that great. I went once and never had the desire to go back. It was like it had a small bar and then it had like a few arcade machines, but it was like 5 minutes in there. You're like, all right, I've done everything. I played all the games I want to play, and that's about it. So
I was surprised on how many there were because I thought it was going to be kind of something like that, but they probably had 50 machines in there.
Yeah,
and they had a whole wall, like a whole row of just old school pinball machines, which was pretty cool. They probably had like maybe 10 to 15 pinball machines in there. So,
wow.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. They had the Mario Kart and the actual
the steering wheel.
So that was pretty cool.
I've always seen those, but never played on that, and I thought that was kind of cool.
It's like you're really encouraging drunk driving.
Especially like if you get games like that at Dave and Buster's, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I had a pale ale that was 10%.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet.
Dang.
I bet.
Drank a couple of those, and I was feeling pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a fun time. It was cool. Yeah, we definitely need something like that. Like Dave and Buster's it's okay, but
it's a little too. Yeah. I mean, it's just like everything else. It's like everything else, but it's Dave and Buster's is just like gigantic versions of phone games for the most part, which I don't care to do.
Angry Birds and whatnot.
Or like Fruit Ninja, and it's like I can play that on my phone. It doesn't have to be gigantic.
Yeah.
And pay a ton of money to play it. Like
we just mained on the X-Men.
Oh yeah, like the old arcade cat with like the 5 or 6. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and you could like choose what character you wanted to be. You had to like stand in a certain place,
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I remember those.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I remember the clutch Mortal Kombat games that were like that, man. You could play like old school Raiden.
Mm-hmm.
Epic.
So yeah, what was the the coolest gift you guys got?
So I've kind of moved into, I've always think about it when I ask for stuff for Christmas. I always ask for something that I feel like I could get good use out of. And then around Christmas time, I'm like, I probably should ask for like a Switch or something, but I don't.
Yeah.
But I got some of those Bowflex dumbbells that like you can change the weight on and then pull them out.
Yeah.
So I've been using those. I got rid of the big gigantic machine I used to have and got those. So that's probably the coolest thing I got. Outside that, it's like clothes and stuff, which, I enjoy now as an adult. I'm like, give me money to get clothes or something. And that's...
Yeah, clothes matter, man, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've kind of, like, when my mom died, me and my dad kind of talked about, like, so in the holidays, like, do we want to do gifts and stuff? Because, like, my dad's not really, he's a cool dude, but he's just not really all about, holiday spirit.
I can see that.
And plus, he's so meat and potatoes, like, he doesn't, like, I mean, he would appreciate anything that I got him, but I mean, like, I don't know, he just doesn't like fancy things. And like,
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So we don't really do gifts, so I just buy myself things.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong
what I
with
do.
that.
Sounds about a fair Christmas to me.
Yeah, right. So
Yeah.
you get what you want, and you know,
Mhm.
it's pretty nice. So mine is a Switch. Yeah.
Nice.
I bought a Switch.
Nice.
So yeah, it's been pretty cool. Played a lot of Super Smash.
Yeah.
Nice.
Lots of Super Smash, and I'm gonna start, kind of researching some other games that I want to get for it. You were telling me about was it Shovel Knight?
Oh, Shovel Knight's great.
Shovel Knight's good, yeah.
Yeah, Shovel Knight's great.
But, yeah, I got a Switch also for Christmas. That super last minute, super not expecting it. So we were just literally just walking around Walmart, and she was like, "Hey, what are you going for Christmas?" And I was like, "I guess a Switch would be cool." but she just walks back to the game station. She's like, "Yeah, give me that." Pulls the last one out.
Nice.
And it was just like, "Merry Christmas." So did not expect it at all.
Yeah.
But I was happy though. And I got 2 games with it initially. I got the Super Smash Bros. Because honestly, why don't you have it?
That's the reason you buy a Switch.
Right, yeah.
And I got Octopath Traveler, which is a really good game. And of course, I've got some other games too to go along with it since then. But yeah, like both of those games are really, really fun. I mean, it's been a while since I played anything Nintendo that was a console. Like,
Yeah.
I remember having a Wii back in the day, and that was just
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
a Wii.
I have a Wii. I think everybody at some point had a Wii. Like, mine was just given to me by an old neighbor. He was just like,
Yeah.
I don't use this anymore. You can have it. And I still have it. I don't use it, but it's there. And I think that's the story of most people's Wiis nowadays. They're just sitting somewhere. Nobody
Yeah.
uses them.
But yeah, I mean, it's been super fun. I mean, I love the Switch. It's great.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna pick one of those up soon because it seems like everybody has one. So we'll see. But I'm also there's some stuff coming out soon. Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out in a few weeks.
Yeah, man, I've been getting caught up on that. Like, have you ever looked up one of the videos where it talks about how like the story so far?
Yeah,
Man,
yeah.
that thing is so in depth. It's ridiculous.
And I'm not a huge fan. I mean, it just got so convoluted because it was like, okay, well, you had 1, and then you had that Game Boy Advance game that tied 1 and 2 together, and then you had 2, and then it's like, all right, well, I mean, they didn't say this, but it's like, if it's going to take us 10 years to make 3, let's just start doing all these spin-offs and like prequels and side stories, and it's like, it's just become a confusing mess.
Yeah, it's like a bag of cats in there.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that 3 just kind of ends it. Like, I'd rather it just end, and like, no, because that's what I've been waiting for is 3. But we'll see.
It depends on how it sells.
Yeah, that's true. I imagine
Much
it's
like
going,
movies, like,
yeah.
You have a blockbuster film and it makes a lot of money. They're like, all right, well, let's give them another one.
Yeah.
Like a Quiet Place, like they're doing a Quiet Place too. And I'm just
Mm.
like, really? Like that's a one shot, Like, it's a good movie. Just let it be that.
But it blew up and everybody loved it, and they're like, great, let's do it again. Yeah, and I'm sure they will probably do that with Kingdom Hearts. But I've been waiting so long. I mean, it seems like that's the way it is now. Any game you loved as a kid, if they make a new one, you're waiting at least a decade before it's done. It seems that way, at least.
That's how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, that was the way it was with Final Fantasy 15. I'd heard about it for years and years, and then it's like 10 years later it finally comes out, and you're like, finally, and then you play it, and you're like, it was okay. Like, would I have waited 10 years for something like that again? No, probably not, but that's just where we're at now. I mean, it used to be, Kingdom Hearts 1 came out, and then like only a few years later 2 came out.
Yeah.
So it's just crazy how... But then again, I guess it's because the video game industry is so big now. It's like, we used to just be able to allot all our time and effort into one game. But now that we have all these games and all these series we have to do, like, we can't just put all our time in that. But what I'm hoping is now that 3's done, they'll put more effort into the 7 remake.
That needs to happen.
Yeah, because I know they scrapped it and basically started over. So I'm hoping they have something to show soon, but... I guess maybe we'll find out at E3, but I doubt it. Because, Sony's not even going to E3 this year.
Not this year, no.
Yeah. So people are saying that's because they want to do their own thing and talk about the PS5. Which some people are like, 7 Remake will be released on PS5. I'm like, I bought a PS4 for that. And, and it's been 5 years and I still don't have it. So.
It's terrible, but that's how it is.
Mm-hmm. Just another big business.
Yeah, man. Gotta be about some cloud.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But since we've had so long, what games have you guys beaten or played since the last time we?
That's a question in itself.
Yeah, because I've got a few, but
the games I play they're not really games you beat.
yeah.
These games
Same.
you just keep playing.
Yeah.
Of course, we got back into playing a lot of Smite.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of took a little break from it just because that game will frustrate you. And
Yeah.
So we just kind of took like a couple of months. We didn't play it much, but now we're getting back into it. So I've been playing that a lot. I did get Red Dead 2, and I'm probably about 70% done with it. Which so far it's freaking great. It's pretty awesome. Obviously bought a Switch, so I've been playing a lot of Super Smash.
Yeah.
Got all the characters unlocked on it and stuff like that. So yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing.
Yeah, since I got my Switch, I've been playing Octopath Traveler. I've been playing the crap out of that game. That game is amazing.
Yeah.
If you haven't played it yet, you should definitely give it a shot.
And that's a Square Enix. That's a Square Enix game, right? Okay, yeah.
But yeah, it's super good. I think I'm only 25% through the game, but it's basically like if you think of something like Final Fantasy where you have like a linear story path, follows different locations.
Right. Yeah.
There's 8 of those across the whole breadth of the game.
Okay.
For different characters doing different missions, and they loosely tie the characters together, but it's more about those singular events with those one-to-one stories.
Oh, okay.
But it's really good though. The combat system is just like Final Fantasy Tactics.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And
I love Tactics.
Maybe not 100% like Tactics. It has its moments, and it's turn-based, which is cool. I mean, I love turn-based games, and the system they use in it is really cool because it's like you have like a break meter for each enemy that you fight, and they have a certain number of weaknesses. Different characters have certain abilities that function off those weaknesses, but they'll have like a target number that you have to meet or hit them a number of times with that ability or that damage type to actually break their guard and get them down for a turn, which you do basically. You basically do 50% extra damage after you hit and that guard's down and all.
Oh, okay.
And then your crit chance goes up by I think like 20% or something like that. But it's really good. The system is really cool. It never gets old. Yeah. And then there's also like a battle point system where your characters, if they don't do anything on a turn, well, regardless of what they do in their turn, other than the defend action, which is you just hold your turn until the next sequence, they'll get a battle point. You can use battle points to get either an extra attack or you can charge up a move that you have already. Oh, okay. To do like double damage, quadruple damage, 8 times the damage. And it tops out at 8 times the damage, which is really good. Yeah. Because when you start out with a regular fireball spell that hits everybody on the opposing team with fire, if they're weak to fire, that's good. It's going to break their guard, but you can also charge it up later on once their guard's down with the battle points to do quadruple damage or 8 times damage. It's a really good system though.
Yeah, that sounds interesting. I'll have to check that out. I guess it's only on Switch, so I'll check it out when I get a Switch. Yeah. But yeah, I think I've seen a little bit of play of that, but I haven't looked too much into it. But I've heard good things about it. I mean, Square Enix rarely ever does anything bad, so
yeah. And as far as like, I've heard people talking about being grindy and stuff, but if you just follow the story paths, I mean, they set, I think the first power spike I got was like level 20, and then everything from there was like 20 to 24. Yeah. But after that, I mean, up to like level 40, you complete one story, you go to the next one, and you stay leveled.
There's no slowdown. You don't ever get to a point where it's like, all right, well, I have to go grind to make sure that I can beat the next boss.
Like I said, I haven't hit any of that since like level 20, and even then it was only a couple levels. Yeah. Just go back, fight a couple more monsters, get another level up, and you got what you need to fight. Yeah. And then it's been really fun though.
Cool. Yeah, since we last talked, I finished Horizon Zero Dawn, which I really enjoyed. I didn't really do. I know there's like a ton of side stuff you can do, but
there's DLC for it too.
Yeah, there is DLC, but I didn't really do any of that. Like I just kind of blew through the story because that's what that's what I wanted to do. Like it's like, oh, you can go get all these metal flowers to trade in for stuff, or you can go find these points where you can. And it's like, okay, I could do that, or I could just rush through the stuff, which is what I did. And I think the only hard part I hit was like towards the very end where I was like, oh crap, like I'm definitely not prepared for this. So I'd have to go back and do some of those, what do you call them? The little underground.
Searching through the ruins.
Yeah. Like go through and do a couple of those. And then I was fine. But I really enjoyed that. The story's great. Yeah. Even though I kind of figured out the twist like shortly through it.
It's a doozy.
Yeah. So that was good. A buddy of mine and I just played through Resident Evil 5 co-op.
Nice.
It's really short. It only took us like a week of like a couple hours here and there. But it was fun. I actually really enjoyed it. I know that game got a lot of hate, I think, when it first came out. People didn't like it. But it was fun for what it was. I mean, just shooting zombies, or infected, I guess, in this one. And the only problem I had with it was, and I think they implemented this in 4, was the QTE events. Where it's just like you're in a cutscene and then it's like, okay, mash this button real quick.
Mash this button really fast.
Yeah, which it was...
Those are kind of annoying.
Yeah, towards the end of the game, it's like I was kind of getting used to them, but there were still times where I'm like, all right, there's a cutscene playing. I can sit back and watch the cutscene and enjoy. And then all of a sudden, it's like, hit this button.
You can die in the cutscene.
Yeah, you can die in the cutscene. So I'd just be sitting there like watching the cutscene and it's like, hit A and D, and I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, go to hit it. And it's like,
your controller.
My head gets cut off or something. I'm like, well, all right, I guess I have to start over.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the one like that. Oh, no. It was the very beginning of Resident Evil 4, the chainsaw guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, yeah, it's just a chainsaw, whatever. So, I'll just keep kiting him.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
and then I got stuck in a house.
Yeah.
And it was over with. Like, one hit and you're dead.
Well, that happens in 5. Like, one of the first bosses you get to is like, it's like a skinnier guy. Because in 4, he's like this big, monstrous dude. And this one is just a skinny dude, and he's got a chainsaw. And the controls are a little weird, especially on PC, which is what we were playing it on. And, like, I'd go to, like, drop my gun and turn around and run, but if you're reloading, you can't move. Like, you have to reload. And reload, and depending on what gun you use, they reload after every shot. So I'm, like, standing there trying to reload. I'm like, God, let me run. Like, I want to get away from this guy. And, of course, he comes up to me and chops my head off, and I'm like, gosh. Like,
Terrible.
Of course, I should have known that was going to happen. But I can't... Some of that game, I was thinking, because another part I had heard people didn't like is the AI is terrible. Because you play with a partner, but... With co-op, it's a lot better because you have someone who's actually playing the other characters, so they know what to do. And I was just like, I can't imagine playing this game with AI.
Because I think, I played Resident Evil 6 because that was the one where you jumped back in Kennedy, right? With the
I think
Kennedy.
so. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one. I think the AI in that one just was awful. It was garbage. Yeah, because like you had to give like commands for them to do things. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, the story would just stall until you were doing something. And there's a certain scene outside the graveyard. There's like this big like citadel, and they just keep coming like wave after wave, and it doesn't end.
Right.
I mean, you have like hounds and all kinds of stuff, but you have to shoot one of the bells. I think. To ring the bell to let someone inside know that you're there, but then you have to pull levers at the same time.
Right, yeah, and there's a lot of
open
that
the door.
Too. Yeah.
And like that just got really annoying because I would have to command them to do things. Then they would be over there at the switch getting ready to pull it, and then they would get hit or I'd get hit.
Right, yeah.
It's really confusing.
I mean, there were plenty of times where I was like, all right, I need you to like just kind of piss off the boss or whatever by shooting it to get it to go away so I can get some range to snipe at it.
Yeah.
And it's like, I imagine if I was playing with AI, it'd just be running around and getting hit and not doing anything. And so, I can imagine why people didn't like it if you were playing by yourself. But co-op, it was a ton of fun. Like, we had a great time with it. So, but other than that, I mean, I haven't played much Overwatch. I know I was playing a lot of that. I just started taking a break from that because that was making me very angry. And I found enjoyment in the fact that, like, if you just play it every once in a while, you can really enjoy it because you don't have that built-up rage over days of, like, losing so much or whatever. So,
I actually played Overwatch for the first time over Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, my cousin has it, and it was pretty cool. I think, from the game kind of like that. We played, like, Smite and Paladins are kind of similar to it. But I think Overwatch, I like the characters better. I think they're pretty cool. Like Paladins is just kind of like the watered down version of Overwatch.
Right, and we were actually we picked up Paladins again recently to play, and it's
fun. I mean,
it is fun, and it's I'd say a little more fast paced. But it's just it is a watered down version of Overwatch. Yeah. But I love who'd you play when you were playing?
Oh gosh, you would ask me that. I don't remember the names, but
if you can tell me what they do, I can.
So there's this. He's like a human wrecking ball, basically. It's like a hamster.
Hammond. Yeah.
And he can like shoot a chain, like pull himself, and like slam down. He was pretty dope.
Yeah,
so I played a lot of him.
Yeah, he's one I've never tried to learn. So if we're playing the Mystery Heroes format, which is like you get a random character assigned to you, and then when you die, it gives you another character. If I ever get him, I almost always end up killing myself or something because I'm like, all right, hook onto this thing, and then I fling out and I just get shot a bunch and die. So he's not. I never really played with him.
Who's the dual revolver guy?
Reaper.
Yeah, I played him too.
He's good too. Yeah, he's a good anti-tank guy.
He was pretty fun.
Yeah. Junkrat is my main. The guy that shoots grenades.
No, you mean Hanzo?
No, not Hanzo. I do play Hanzo every once in a while because I love. Like, I don't like snipers out of principle because I hate having to play against them, so I don't play them myself much. But playing Hanzo or Widow and just like, someone pops out around the corner and you just snipe them one good time in the head, like that just feels so good. I had to play recently where I used my ult. Hanzo shoots those dragons that swirl and go forward. Killed 2 people, and then this guy's running out of spawn, and I'm just right in the head, and he goes down. I'm like, all right, that's I can see why people like it, but
sniping was the best part of Far Cry 5.
Oh yeah,
The sound it made was just like, I don't know, so appeasing to the ears. It was like, it just sounded cool. Like,
I love headshots.
It's like you
more realistic.
And then like they'll be like driving a truck or something like that, and you just like snipe them and like hit the steering wheel.
The truck goes off the road.
Oh yeah. It's a lot of fun. But I don't like snipers in games like that. I don't like playing because they have in Paladins they have Kinessa.
Right.
She's like the sniper, and it's always like they're so predictable, man. Like if you know the maps, you know where they're gonna be. It's like I don't know, and they'll do some crazy damage, but I'm just not good at playing them. It's like I don't know. I'm just not a very good sniper, I guess. But
yeah, they just aggravate me because basically they just stand in the background and shoot like they're never a part of the fight really, but they're killing your whole team. And there's in Overwatch, and I'm sure it's the same in Paladins and stuff. Is like there's hard counters to stuff like that. So if you have say Widow, the sniper from Overwatch, you can pick Winston, who's like the giant monkey, and then if like Widow's up here sniping people, you can leap up with him and like kill her pretty quick.
Yeah.
So, like, you have those hard counters, but the most frustrating thing is playing with people and, like, that Widow's just standing in the back killing your whole team and nobody does anything about it.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm already healing or I'm already tanking. Someone else has to take that responsibility, which is another reason I hate sometimes playing Overwatch unless I'm playing with, like, a group of 6 people.
Yeah.
So that way
That definitely makes it better when you have, like, everybody's on the same page.
Yeah.
Because that's what'll happen. Me and my friend Brandon, when we play Smite, like, the lowest you can go is a 3v3. So we're going to have some random person. And sometimes it's great because they know the game, they know what we're doing, they know our characters, they know the plan. But sometimes you just like, team's pushing down lane, and we're like trying to defend, and he's over here getting blue buff, off in the jungle. I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, you not see this fight over here? Like, and they just do stupid things like that. It's aggravating.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's plenty of times you match up with randos and like a certain character on the other team's just kicking your ass, and you're like, the rando will be like, hey, can somebody take care of this? Like, you do it. Like, if if it's bothering you that much, like, we're doing fine. If it's bothering you, you switch and you go take care of it. But, of course, they're not going to do that because they're playing whoever, that's not making an impact in the game.
They're maining Hanzo.
Yeah. We have a friend that he only plays snipers. Like, Widow is his main. And, like, there are times where it's like, the other team's running 3 tanks that all have shields. Like, you're not going to do anything as a sniper because they're behind walls that your bullets are going to do nothing to. And but they'll just stay Widow and just stand back there and do nothing the whole game. But then again, there are times where he's playing and it's just like he's just owning, just headshotting everybody. So, it's give or take. But he's gotten a little better about switching it up and changing things. So,
Well, you guys want to roll initiative for our segment?
Sure.
I mean, I feel like it warrants initiative because I have something I want to talk about, but I don't know if you guys have something you want to talk about.
Okay. I mean, I'm just going to roll for the fun of it.
Yeah, just go for it.
Oh, 2 nat 20s.
I like it.
Nice. I'll re-roll this one. And
a 1. Yeah, and a 1.
20 to 1.
All right.
Your luck.
Well, I've already done my segment about what we played over the break, so if you want to, since...
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's... Yeah, you just go for it.
Well, I mean, like, just on the note of movies, I mean, just take a step back into the past week, what I've been watching on Netflix, on the days off, before overtime really kicks in really hard at work. I just recently watched Watchmen because I couldn't really remember what all was in that movie.
Oh, yeah.
That movie's terrible. So this segment is called Movies I Watched Recently That I Will Never Ever Watch Again. I'm putting it on a permanent ban list, and it's not going to be watched ever again. The movie's terrible. It's like if you just smashed together everything that was DC and dark and everything that was in Sin City, and you just smashed them all together and was like, let's pull a plot out of this thing's ass. Like, that's basically what that movie was.
Yeah.
Because you have the villain, he's like super smart, and he's super, he's something. I don't know what he is.
I don't even remember who the villain is in that movie.
It's the whatever dude who's like the billionaire or whatever. He like comes out as a superhero, and like everybody loves him. because he doesn't have a secret identity anymore.
God, it's been so
But he
long
basically
since I've seen that movie.
he trolls everybody into believing that Dr. Manhattan is like this big evil guy and he wants to destroy the world. When honestly, he could just do that anyways in an instant. That doesn't make sense to his plan. And then like he tries to kill him like I think like 2 or 3 times, and like it doesn't work. And like the whole movie just seems pointless.
Yeah.
Because no one in the movie has superpowers except Dr. Manhattan, who's like this godlike being who can't be stopped, can't be destroyed, can't be interacted with, and it's just really dumb. The whole movie's dumb.
So I've always thought of it from what I remember is that it was more of a character profile of all the old superheroes. Like it wasn't, what we're used to now with Marvel movies. Like here's the big bad guy and this group of superheroes is going to go take care of him. It's more of like, let's see what, how these characters interact with each other when this crazy guy's coming to try and destroy them. But I mean, to your point, from what I remember, it's like, I don't remember it being as great as everybody thought it was.
Yeah.
Then you just read the graphic novel if you really want to. That's probably better.
Yeah, it probably would be better considering what I've seen in the movie, but
yeah,
that was just a little bit of frustration. I had a little bit of rage.
Had to get that out. You might get somebody
off
with that one, but yeah, I agree.
Hey, I mean, if they can talk to me all they want, get in the comment section. I'm ready for it.
Yeah, I watched Bird Box, which from what I understand, everyone and their mom watched Bird Box. Have you guys watched it?
Yeah, it's
okay.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I heard a lot of people, most people online talking about it were just like, it's not that great. Like, it's not that great. And
haters gonna hate.
Haters gonna hate. It's not the most amazing movie like some people act like it is. It's a very simple premise, and it's from a book. Like it was a book, and they adapted it into a movie. I don't know if I really cared for the way they did the timeline, where it's like they're like, okay, they're getting ready to go on the river, and so it's just her and those 2 kids, and then it flashes back to where she's with like all those other people, and you're like, well, every single one of them is going to die because they're not in this movie anymore when they're going down the river.
You expect it,
right? Yeah. So it kind of removes that tension from like, are these people going to survive? It's like obviously not. They're all going to die. But I thought the premise was great. I thought that was like, you just can't look or you will die. The fact that it was, I guess, the understanding is if you're a good-hearted person, it makes you kill yourself. If you're an evil person or a bad person, it takes you over and makes you try and get other people to look at it. Yeah. Which is why everybody that was trying to get them to look at it looked evil and grungy and stuff, and then the people that were killing themselves seemed like decent people. But yeah, that scene where that guy I knew the instant that girl let that guy in, I was like, he's evil. Nothing good is going to come of this. And then sure enough, he's like ripping down. He's like, look at it. And oh man, it was good. I mean, I enjoyed it. I thought it was really worthwhile. And I love Sandra Bullock, and the acting just in general was pretty good.
Isn't it crazy how some people were like calling her the lady from Bird Box? Like
oh yeah,
your generation has no idea who Sandra Bullock is.
Oh god, yeah, it's infuriating. But I was thinking about this because there was a tweet recently. I think I talked about this on the podcast where some teenage girl on Twitter was like, wouldn't it be great if you could put a song on your Twitter profile so people could know what you're listening to? And some guy's like, we've reached the generation that doesn't know what MySpace is. Yeah. So I was thinking, have we reached that point where kids don't know what 2 Girls, 1 Cup is, so we can trick them into watching that?
I don't know, because I still see 2 Girls, 1 Cup memes all the time.
Oh, yeah?
References to it. So I think like that's just one thing that you'll never forget.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to forget.
It'll never be the same now, because...
just wow.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting to that point, where it's just like they just don't know about the things we do, even though it wasn't really that long. I mean, MySpace was like a decade ago, maybe a little more than that.
Oh, yeah,
like,
a little more than that.
It was like our high school years, like right up until we started college, and then it kind of Facebook came, and then that kind of took it over.
So it's early 2000s.
Yeah, so I can understand, but God, man, it's wild. But I want to take advantage of the fact that they don't understand things we knew when we were younger, so we can
have leverage.
Yeah, so I can trick them and be like, "Hey, you should watch this video. It's called Mr. Hands, and this guy fucks a horse, or gets fucked by a horse, or this is definitely not a video of a guy shoving a mason jar up his ass, stuff like that."
You remember Tub Girl?
Oh god.
Dude, disgusting, man.
People would take Tub Girl and make them their desktop on computers and stuff. So they would like move the screen. So they would be like Tub Girl.
Oh god.
Oh my gosh, dude, that's the picture you'll never like burn out of your head, dude.
Oh man.
Terrible.
You can try though. You just put a flamethrower in your face. I mean,
But see, I feel
that's
like now
what it takes to unsee that.
we're just so saturated in memes and stuff like that like I don't think the really good things like that are gonna stick out as much. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I mean, you see stuff like that every day. It's like there are definitely multiple subreddits you can go to where you just look at messed up stuff like all day.
I think like last night, the night before last, when we were working, actually Moon, the guy we work with, he showed me a video on his phone. To me, it's a common thing because I know how it works on farms. But it was a video of a guy who had a big excavator and he was digging a big hole, and he put a whole bunch of pigs in it. And there was a hole full of pigs, and he started dumping diesel fuel on top of the pigs.
Oh my god!
And then he has like a big giant pot, it's like a brazier kind of, just filled with lighter fluid, and he lights it on fire, and he gets in the excavator, and he knocks the pot over into the hole, and just all the pigs are consumed in flames.
What's the point of that?
Well, the point is like the pigs have a disease.
Oh, okay.
So like the meat is like it can't be used. I mean,
right.
and it'll infect the rest of the livestock.
Right.
So you have to kill them, and then once they're all burned to death, he's gonna cover the hole back up, and then problem solved. But people were freaking out, talking about, "Oh my God, watch what happens!" And like flames coming down inside of the thing, and all the pigs are freaking out. And they're like, "Look at this! This is murder!" And he's like, "No, I know what that is."
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. Yeah, if they're diseased and have no real use anymore.
So like just even like a little thing like that was like, yeah.
I mean, you couldn't just shoot them first.
That's my. It's like, why not just shoot them and
burn them alive? That's a little much.
And I guess it's just quicker to like throw them all in a pit and light them on fire rather than just. Like, I'm not wasting bullets on that.
I mean, but it was like
I'll dig a hole.
It was like 20 pigs. That's like $5 worth of bullets. Yeah. I mean, you just take some fuel out of your truck and just dump it in a hole.
Speaking of killing pigs, have you seen the people who get in helicopters and like
hunt those pigs?
Yes,
yeah, dude, that is epic.
No,
I want to do that.
Well, yeah, dude. They take like AK-47s and they get up in this like helicopter and they're like hovering pretty low and they're just like taking these pigs out. And then they'll have big feeding piles and they'll put like explosives and
blow them sky high. Yeah,
there's some weird cult where they're like, "What's the weirdest way we can just destroy?"
Nah, man. There's a guy who has like a lever action rifle. I think it's like one of those power lines, like where they have the big transformer cables and stuff that go down to the trees. There's this group of pigs that could always come across the same path, and he's like, "I'm gonna kill me some pigs today." So he's got this lever action rifle, and he just stands there and he goes bam, bam, and he kills like 6 pigs just on this one trail. And I was like, man, they're just slaughtering these pigs.
Good grief.
But it really is a problem, though, honestly.
I'm sure, yeah. Because, I mean, you don't want your entire stock to get messed up just because you can't kill a couple of pigs.
Exactly.
Which I may infuriate some people, but it's like, what's outside of food? What do they really do?
Well, I mean, a lot of the you can use pig manure for a lot. It's not a good fertilizer, but I mean, it's decent. Mm-hmm. It gets the job done.
Interesting. I didn't know that either, but I guess all shit can be used for.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, humans is probably the worst one because there's so much that goes in our diet that's unregulated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like all the processed food we eat.
It's like, if you're eating McDonald's for a week, that's not
going to go grow anything decent. But yeah. So,
Interesting.
Note to self, if having a pig problem, burn all pigs.
Yeah. Dig a giant hole. Set them on fire.
Light them on fire.
That's got to be.
Tell everybody you're just a pig killer.
I mean, could you hear like audio?
Oh yeah.
I was about to say, like, they're not going out immediately. Like, they're definitely going to.
They're going to burn to death. Yeah.
Which is just wild. Just imagine if you you're like doing your job, like, all right, go get in the hole. We're setting you on fire. Like, what?
Yeah.
Sorry, we got to. You're gonna spoil everybody.
You're gonna spoil everybody. Yeah.
Good grief.
Yeah. Viral videos.
So while you were talking about
lighting pigs on fire.
Well, that too. But I was thinking about a terrible movie that I watched, and I can't really think of one recently that I've watched that was bad, but I do. The first thing that came to my mind when I was thinking about it was the movie Unbreakable.
Mm-hmm.
Unbreakable. What was that one?
It's got Bruce Willis. Yeah.
It's the one that Split tied into, and they're doing the Glass movie with.
Is that the one where he's like a doctor or something, or a mechanic or something?
Which one? Split?
No, Unbreakable.
He's a security guard.
He's a security guard, yeah.
In Unbreakable. But, essentially, I can't really exactly remember the premise. The movie was just terrible. I just thought it was.
He's basically invincible.
Yeah.
Like it turns out he's a superhero in a sense, but.
And then
his main enemy is a guy who's called Mr. Glass, and he's like everything breaks his bones. He's like brittle.
Yeah.
So he's like in a wheelchair.
Is that Samuel L. Jackson?
Samuel L. Jackson, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. So that was one of M. Night Shyamalan's first movies before he got all terrible. It was that and I think Sixth Sense came first, right?
Yes.
Because I think that's what started him off, and then they were just like, do whatever you want, like as long as it makes money like that, and then it just kind of he ran out of steam real fast. Though I've heard his stuff's getting better. I don't know. I don't watch any of it.
Yeah, I'm not super keen on that.
Mm-hmm. I also watched Zodiac recently with Jake Gyllenhaal and Robert Downey Jr., Mark Ruffalo. There's a lot of good people in that movie. That was really enjoyable because I had caught like a documentary on YouTube about the Zodiac killer and like all.
It's still one of the worst unsolved.
Yeah, which they say. I mean, they say they got him, and like but there's no real way of telling. Because I mean, once they arrested the guy they thought it was, people kept doing it, and the belief is that it was just copycats. People are like, all right, well, if he got caught, we'll just keep doing it.
Yeah.
But it's pretty wild, like how he dude just straight up just shot most people and just pull up next to people and just bang, 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 and just leave. And then call the cops and be like, yeah, there's a double homicide. I did it later. And then write letters to the cops and shit like that. Wow.
But yeah.
But if the meme is right, it was Ted Cruz's father that was the Zodiac killer.
Ted Cruz's father. I love anything Ted Cruz memes because they had something talking about how he was like, what was it? Was it some kind of porn ring or something?
Oh yeah, the Pizzagate stuff.
Something like that.
Yeah, that where they thought that there was like an underground sex trade ring fronted in these pizza places. Yeah.
That whole thing, every meme I saw from that was absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, I like the one. It was a Vine, I think, but it's like Ted Cruz. He's in South Carolina when he does that, and oh god.
Sorry, you go ahead.
So Ted Cruz is like talking in South Carolina when he was running for president, and this guy has a sign that says "We want answers."
Yes.
That's pretty spot on. And it's a picture of Ted Cruz, and then on the other side it's Kevin from The Office, and he holds it up. He's like, "We want answers. Like we think you're the same person." I was like, and Ted Cruz sees it, and he just keeps talking.
Well, we were laughing at it. I found this picture of Ted Cruz and Grandpa Munster.
That's
identical.
That's pretty uncanny.
That's great.
Oh man.
Ted Cruz looks like a lot of people.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he's pretty vanilla white guy.
Yeah. Well, I didn't realize he.
Vanilla white guy.
It just keeps going, dude. Look at this.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Jerry Springer.
Maury, chick
or Maury, yeah.
Woman on Maury looks like Ted Cruz. Well, I didn't know I found this. The one cool thing he's done. Somebody had said something like, I still don't believe that Ted Cruz played basketball in college. And he replied with a picture of him playing basketball for Duke, which I didn't know he played for Duke, but apparently he did.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, well, that's interesting to know. But still, it's funnier to just laugh at his face because he looks goofy. And he did have that, what was that Twitter thing where his Twitter account had like that porno video of like the mom and daughter, and I was like, oh man.
Terrible. Just terrible.
People just don't understand the internet. Because that's the thing with Twitter now. It's like if you like something, there's a chance that Twitter's going to show all your followers, oh, they liked this post. So it's like you got to be careful what you like because Twitter may just be like, everybody needs to see this. Even if it's, I don't know why there's even an option for like, it's like, and I'm just going to get real, it's like when you're watching porn and there's those buttons for like share on Facebook. And so you're like, why?
Why?
Who in the hell is like, I'm really enjoying this. I think everybody on my Facebook friends list would love to see this video.
I think my grandma would love to see this video. Terrible.
It's just like, and I'm sure there's someone out there that does it.
The funnier thing, though, is seeing those memes where people are putting those, like, how do you make an egg on, like, the porn site, the comments and stuff.
Oh, yeah. There's a subreddit just for Pornhub comments that are pretty good. There was one I saw where it's like, some guy trying to get help with his calculus homework, and someone like answers and like figures out his homework problem. Like,
Dang. That's great.
It's just, that's got to be another. It's
That's-
like, who
that's
takes
the-
their time to write comments? I was like, yeah, she's doing all right, but I guess, you know, a little more action, a little more noise maybe. Like, nobody's reading that.
Yeah.
She's not like, this critique, I might need to up my game a little bit. Nobody's do it.
Yeah, that doesn't happen.
Yeah. There's entranced in Ted Cruz look
Yeah,
like me.
just over here laughing my ass off, dude.
All the Ted Cruz memes.
No, man.
You have to make a thumbnail for this.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
Ted Cruz meme.
I think that's what I'll do. I'll put the picture for like the audio that's playing over.
Mm.
I'll put the Ted Cruz
Different.
picture of him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
I'll probably do
Epic.
that. I'll probably do that.
Ooh,
Nice.
But yeah,
thanks.
are we out?
No, we're not out.
Oh, okay. Well,
I mean,
I was gonna say like yeah, just as far as news for us. I mean, we're gonna try to record tonight. Starfinder.
yeah.
We get some more stuff coming for 4020. So yeah, it's gonna be epic.
Nice. I'm excited to see that. Are you guys going to do video or just audio?
Just audio
Just
right
audio.
now. You'll probably do like maybe 4.
Yeah,
30
we'll break it
minutes.
up 30-minute slots.
Okay.
And
Cool.
we kind of release those.
Yeah, that's a big. There's a lot of people that do that now, and I'm not trying to like say anything about you guys doing, but it's like that's a big thing nowadays. It's like people that already do podcasts or groups that do other things. That's what they get to. They get together and play D&D, which I think is really cool. That has kind of entered the mainstream of like just people like playing D&D, which I think is cool.
Yeah, you can go on to anything like Spotify or anything like that and just pull up, hey, RPG podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll give you like a billion different results.
Yeah.
Yep. So we're gonna be 1,000,000,001.
Yeah.
Billion
Hey,
one. Yep.
nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's
1v1.
anything internet-wise these days. It's a saturated market. There's already, everybody's already doing everything. So it's like you kind of have to, if you want to do the same thing, which is hard not to do the same thing as someone else, you have to, make it unique in some way or just,
I just
one
wonder
or two.
how many memes have actually been created since like the founding of like what a meme was.
Oh my gosh, probably.
Like it's probably in
Google that. How
yeah.
many memes are
how
there?
many memes are there? Like period.
Well, I mean, it's like occasionally when I'm browsing Reddit or Imgur, like you'll see those people that post like all classic memes. Like you had like one of the first ones I think was like the cat, and it's like I can has cheeseburger. Like that's how it started. And It's
Yeah.
just a picture of a goofy looking cat.
Yeah.
And it's like now you're into these like nuanced memes where it's like if you're not into this section of what that meme is, there's one I see because I've started browsing Reddit, but not using my homepage. I'll go to our all. I only do that at home because it's very dangerous. There's a lot of nude stuff on there, which I'm fine with. It's just at work I'm not going to do that. But there's one called deep fried memes. Have you ever heard of this?
Mm.
And it's like they'll take a meme and they'll like distort it, like invert the colors, and it's almost like if when you were trying to watch scrambled channels as a kid, that's what the meme looks like, and it makes no sense. There's like no real meaning behind it, but apparently it's hilarious because it's got tens of thousands of upvotes, and it's like, this is fun. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Just look at some of them. I maybe it's just me, but like I run across a lot of that where I'm just like, I have no idea why this is funny, but
Yeah.
I-
The Nicolas Cage one we were all really got on with memes.
Oh yeah,
Because that's blew
that
my mind.
face he's making. Where,
Yeah.
Oh, I can't do it. I can't do
Yeah.
it. But we're on the same page. Yeah.
But yeah, it like just epic.
Yeah. That was during the faces, like the fun of
Yeah.
like the troll face and all that
The
stuff.
Jackie
Yeah.
Chan one.
Yeah. Yeah. But now it's just so nuanced and there's so much. I mean, my favorite memes though are definitely like the related, just stuff that's relatable to real life. Like, this is me when this is happening. You're like, yeah, that is kind of the way I feel when I do.
Yeah.
It's simple, but. And then also I've gotten into wholesome memes. Like if I've had a bad day and I just need to feel good again, wholesome memes are the way to go because they're all about making you feel good, and like a lot of them are just like reuse meme formats. So it's like the Drake one where he's like this and then he's like that, but it's like all positive. It's like feeling bad about yourself or like knowing you got it going on, like that kind of stuff. Or there's some that are just like videos of wholesome videos you see on Facebook, like Army soldier surprises his parents, and you're just like, I've seen a million of these, but it gets me every time. You're just like, oh, all right, good. I'm glad that's happening.
Yes. Yes. More of that.
Yeah, because I feel like most memes are just so depressing and sad for some
Well,
reason.
the thing that memes like really explode on is like when something funny, like when people are making fun of something, like satire.
Yeah.
And like I remember when Bird Box came out, just to harken back to that, there was memes that go lore about that movie. It was hilarious.
Yeah, it was like one where it's like me trying to stay sober, and it's like
she's like
all the wine.
blindfold on.
Yeah. Well, you heard about the Bird Box challenge, right? Where it was like you basically just put a blindfold on and try and do everyday tasks.
Yeah.
And it's like people, bumping into walls and stuff. But there was an article.
I seen it, like somebody was driving a car, right?
Yeah, some teenage girl put a blindfold on and started driving her car. It's like, okay, it's gotten a little too out of hand when you're doing that.
It's like eating Tide Pods, man.
Eating laundry detergent. Like I've never if someone was like, "Hi, isn't this funny? All these people are doing," I'd be like, "I'm not eating laundry detergent. What kind of idiot do you take me for?"
Yeah.
But people did it.
It's just dumb.
Rob Gronkowski had to go, "Hey guys, don't eat Tide Pods. They'll kill you." Thanks, Gronk.
Yeah. Don't do that.
Yeah. I don't know.
I was trying to think of like what was it for us like back in the day, like that was like our Tide Pods. Like what?
Planking.
Planking was funny though.
Like something stupid.
Something dangerous.
So here's what it is. Remember like you would like have those desks or whatever that you could like push up or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And then like so people like figured out that like you just breathe really heavy for like 4
or
or 5 minutes and then just like hold your breath and push up back and then just pass out.
Yeah. Because that was it. You do like this and you. And you hold your breath, and someone would like push on your arms, and it would make you black out. So like there was a period of time when we were in marching band that we would do that, and we had one friend that would let us do it all the time. But like we did it in a locker room, or we were in a band competition. We're in a locker room. You may have graduated at this point, but you know who I'm talking about.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
And we were in the locker room because that was where like all the bands had to go to the bathroom and stuff, and like the guy that would do it all the time, he's like, "Make me do it in here." Like, okay, sure. So he like does like this. We push on him. He's standing against the lockers. He blacks out, falls down. His legs start swinging. He's like kicking the lockers, like boom, 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 boom. And like all these people looking around, and we're like, he's fine. He's just sometimes he passes out. It's fine, and we're like slapping, like, wake up, dude, come on.
Wow.
This is a period of time where we were making each other black out for no reason.
I think I figured out what happened. See, when you guys were in school, you guys came up with these games, and it caused minor brain damage. Like, nothing that'll affect you. But your kids are the ones that are eating the Tide Pods. It's a chain effect.
Yeah, it just gets worse. Yeah. Where it's like, I'm just going to stick this gun in my mouth and fire it and see what happens.
What?
The gun challenge. Yeah, we were...
The gun challenge. We're playing Russian roulette with an automatic today.
Yeah. And it's a full clip. Here we go.
Oh, terrible.
Well, there was that one video where that guy got killed because him and his girlfriend were like, "We're gonna get viral on the internet."
Oh, he shot through a book or something?
He had like a big thick book, and he's like, "I'm gonna hold it against my chest, and you shoot me." It was like it was a big gun, like a Desert Eagle or something, and she just, it went right through the book and right through him, and he died. Like, what the hell goes through people's mind? Like,
I couldn't tell you.
Stupidity.
Yeah, the dumbest thing we would do is like that, or like peroxide our hair.
Yeah. Or like,
you remember
what is that?
That was like a phase, dude. Like,
just bleach your hair. Yeah.
Just bleach your hair, like why? And then you go swimming and it turned green.
Yeah.
I never did it.
Yeah.
I'm not about
I know
that.
a lot of people
that
did.
I definitely had frosted tips at some point in high school, but that didn't last very long. But what was the other? We used to like do things like the same guy. He would like we would give him a couple of bucks to go get a lunch tray full of food. And then he'd walk down the aisle of the lunchroom, trip himself, and throw the food everywhere. And then he'd just get up and just kind of look around and then just walk off. Or like we'd be at the mall, like a big crowd of people, and he'd be on one end, and me and some other buddies would be on the other end, and we'd be like, "Hey, there's that guy over there." And one of us would run over and just punch him as hard as we could in the stomach. And he'd like hit the ground, and we'd just run off, and all these people were like, "What's going on?" And he's like, "Oh."
Yeah.
Whipping with guitar strings,
yeah,
that kind of stuff.
I was going to mention that. I did that. Like,
Cat of nine tails.
I whipped him with guitar strings one time.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
And there are all those videos on the internet of Andrew hurt himself. Like, I still watch those to this day. The one of him skateboarding off that porch, like eating shit into that brick foundation.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that was,
Just
we shot bottle rockets at him.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Which that was funny you mentioned that because at Christmas this year where my dad's side of the family was over, because I got those fireworks from his mom. They were like old school fireworks from like when my dad was a kid. She had more. This past Christmas, she's like, "I've got these fireworks." And he's like, "Where do you keep getting these from?" She's like, "Oh, I just found them." I was like, "I'll take them." And my parents were like, no, you can't have them. You know what happened last time? I was like, yeah, we shot them at our friends.
We shot them.
Because I mean, that was before they started regulating them. Like they were.
Yeah, these
like,
are pretty powerful.
Yeah, pretty powerful. I mean, the bottle rockets were like this big, but they went off, dude.
Yeah.
I still hate I recorded over that perfect shot, but
Man, dude.
I think then we got like 12 other shots at him that didn't blow up, but still hurt him, and the kid's got some scars. But
sounds like fun.
yeah, so I mean, it's a lot of things, but it's like, yeah, you're not going to kill your friend shooting an old bottle rocket at him, but you will kill yourself if you eat a Tide Pod or shoot a Desert Eagle from like 3 feet away from the other person. Like,
Yeah, books don't stop bullets.
no, they don't. Unfortunately, it's just wild. I don't know.
It's crazy.
It's all about internet fame, and like that's what they said they were doing it for, is to become viral. And it's like, and especially a lot of what I see today is like, if you want to become viral, you do something stupid. Like people don't care if you do something great, like those kind of. It's like and I hate to get on a soapbox here, but it's like watching the news. Like when you watch the news, you don't really hear about anything good because that's not interesting. Like, oh, this guy saved a puppy. Cool. Oh, there's a war going on over here. Oh, okay. Let's, that's a little more scary. Let's pay attention to that. So the internet's kind of the same way. It's like, if I go to Reddit and I find that video of that soldier coming home and surprises his mom, it may have a few thousand upvotes. But then you go to that subreddit where the guy like blows his hand off. It's got like 100,000 upvotes, and people are like, oh, that was crazy, dude. Like, it's just people get famous for the dumbest
just
stuff.
Think about what you could do with that, because I mean, literally, like this past week, they were like, "Hey, let's get more likes on Instagram than Kylie Jenner," so they like started sending this picture of an egg.
Oh yeah, the egg picture. Yeah,
people were like, "Hey, just like it," we're trying to beat Kylie Jenner. She had the most liked picture or whatever.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, and it did it. They did it, and like, just think about like the unity in like coming together. You could do something good.
Yeah, we all hate Kylie Jenner.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. I think at least the three of us can say that. But yeah, that was, and I was going to bring this as a topic I was going to talk about. The speedrunning marathon they do twice a year. I think I've talked about it on here before, but that was this past week. And they raised almost $2.5 million over a week of just playing video games and like raising money for the Prevent Cancer Foundation. So it's like, yeah, you got your bad, but you've also got your good.
Yeah.
It's just wild, man, to see the way they do that. Because like, they were almost at the end of it. It goes Sunday to Saturday. And then that Saturday, they had a few games left, maybe like a few hours left of the marathon. And they were at like 1.7 something. And the guy was like, they were giving all these incentives to like get to 2 million before he finished his run. And like, it just started going nuts. Like it was just a tracker. It just kept going up. And like you see whenever somebody subscribes with Twitch Prime, it pops up in the chat. Yeah. And the chat was just like this with people subscribing, and that number just kept going. And it's like, wow, that's impressive. Like that's unity of people on the internet getting together for a good cause. And you can see a lot of that too. So I think that's what I've tried to, especially in 2019, what I'm trying to do is, if I use the internet, I want to try to stay on the more positive side of things rather than the more negative. So we'll see. More wholesome memes, less depressing memes in 2019.
The quality of your memes is what matters.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Meme quality.
Speaking of 2019, I'm excited for this podcast because I want to do some cool stuff with it.
Okay.
I do want to start adding video elements.
Yeah.
I think it'd be cool to actually have video of us.
Yeah. I don't know if people want that, but
yeah, they probably
because we're so handsome, right?
God, turn it off. Back to audio.
Go back to the picture of Ted Cruz, please.
Yeah. Bird box. Don't look at it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so we would love some feedback. So if you have any ideas for us, maybe material wise, like segments that you guys want to do,
or equipment wise, if you guys have any cameras that you know how things
or
work,
things you think you might like. Oh, hey, this might help out a little bit or something.
Yeah. Anything. Open to ideas.
Mm-hmm. Hit us up in the comments. We have an email address too.
4020podcasting@gmail.com.
Yep. So. Yep. Love some feedback. Give us some feedback so we can kind of plan for this year. But I think the first few episodes that we did last year was kind of like a little test run, kind of like a pilot. Kind of see what's going to happen with it. So I think from now on it'll kind of get more structured and a little bit more professional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not quite so low budget, but
yeah. And if this specific podcast gets 10,000 likes, I'll eat a Tide Pod.
Ooh.
Not really, please.
Ooh.
Challenge accepted.
10,000, huh?
Next episode, Eric dies.
Yeah, it's like, all right, welcome back.
What do you mean you're bleeding? Stop bleeding.
You can either eat a Tide Pod or you can hold a phone book
and
shoot you.
You have to use one of your guns. You can't use mine.
Yeah.
I'll shoot you with my 9mm.
I still don't know. Can I get a couple of books?
How many phone books?
But anyway, yeah, cool. So
I think it was good start back to the new year.
Yeah.
Happy New Year,
Happy New
everybody.
Year's.
I'm really looking forward to this. I enjoyed the break, but it's good to be back doing this, having some good conversation. So,
Me too. So until next time.
bye, everybody.
Stay wholesome.
Thanks for listening to the 4020 Podcast.
Be sure to follow us on all our social media outlets.
4020 Podcast on IG and Twitter, as well as our 4020 Podcast page on Facebook.
We love hearing from our listeners, so drop us a line at 4020podcasting@gmail.com.